Alright guys, we have Lively and we are going home. Hey guys, so update on Lively. Okay, I'm like super frustrated. So when I dropped her off yesterday around noon, I expected that she'd be there at least overnight. So she was there overnight, and then I called throughout the day yesterday, and they didn't really have any like any information for me. They were still basically saying the vet hasn't seen her, she hasn't gone back yet. Then this morning I had called up again, and I was just starting to get kind of frustrated because every time I'd call, like, nobody seemed to have any answers for me. It was just, well, I think she's back there. They would tell me, like, oh, she's at the vet. No one really had any answers further than that. Finally got a hold of somebody, and she was super sweet and said that they finally got her back and that she was actually the one who got her back, so they got the appointment. And then this afternoon, by the second or third time calling, basically I was told that she really didn't know, that she's at the vet, but I basically have to just wait until the vet calls me to let me know when I can pick her up, or if she's ready, or if she needs to stay, like if she is sick, if they need to give her medication. She told me that I was supposed to just wait for the vet to call me. So by this point I was super frustrated, and that was at 4 o'clock today. I was out running around tonight, so I decided to swing by on my way home. It was almost 7 this evening, and I went up to the desk and was asking them, and they weren't really sure if she was still in the back at the vet, or... So this was actually, I went up to the front desk of the Banfield office, and they weren't really sure. The girl there in the front wasn't sure if she was in the back there, or if they had given her back to PetSmart to get her back to me. So I had to go try to find a manager at PetSmart and ask him, and then he also was like, oh, well, she's still back at the vet. I was asking him if she'll be ready to come home tonight, you know, that I was told it'd be either tonight or tomorrow morning, and then he let me know that, well, if she's sick and we need to give her medication, then she'll be here for 2 weeks. And he just still sounded very iffy about it, and like I didn't know if she was sick or I didn't know if she wasn't sick. And I had asked him, like, well, I haven't heard anything. I'm getting nothing. And he's like, well, let me go check for you. And so he goes in the back and he comes back up, and he still doesn't really know. He's like, yeah, she's back there. And I was like, okay, well, what do I do? Do I go back to the vet to talk to them? He's like, oh, well, I can go check. So then he goes and checks, and he comes back out, and he just, from what he says, he was making it sound like maybe she was sick, that she would have to stay for 2 weeks, but then I wasn't positive, and I wasn't even sure if the vet had seen her. He's like, well, if they have surgeries, those will go first. I'm not sure if she was even seen yet. So he basically went back to check, because I had him go back. I was like, can you at least check for me? So we went back, and he came back out, and he said, yes, she has been seen. And I was like, well, can I take her home? What's the status on her? And then he still didn't know. He's like, well, she doesn't have her notes up yet. And I was like, okay, well, if she's been seen, then why is she here? Why can't I bring her home? I was just so frustrated. And then he's like, well, let's go check her notes at the front desk. So we went to the front desk again, looked up her notes, and they're like, oh, she's got a clean bill of health. Nothing looked abnormal. She just gave me the clear for her to go. So a couple of reasons here I was super frustrated, because one, they only gave her the clear to go home because I was there asking. Nobody called me letting me know that she was done, and I don't know how long, but she was there, done, healthy, and nobody called me to tell me that. And so who knows, she probably would have stayed another night. They were making it sound like she was going to stay another night for no reason. I was told when I dropped her off that she would, a very good chance, get in that day to be seen. To my knowledge, she was going to be seen yesterday, and a day and a half later is when she ended up being seen. And I was told that they would give me updates and call me, that I was free to call them with questions, but that they would keep me up to date. And I never got one phone call from anyone. And here she was sitting back there, healthy, ready to go home, and nobody even called me. So I'm not here to bash PetSmart. It was a blessing that they were able to get her in for free. I really appreciate it that they were able to look at her for no charge. That was great. I have peace of mind now knowing that she's healthy. I'm just really frustrated because I felt like instead of treating her as a pet, she had a family who was like worried about her, and I felt they were kind of just treating her as like they would get to her when they get to her. I felt like they were gonna call me when they were just gonna get around to it, kind of when it best fit their schedule. There's not one employee who works there. Somebody could have taken 2 minutes, 30 seconds out of their day just to call me and let me know that she was fine and I could come pick her up. She's home. I didn't film putting her in her cage because she was just stressed out and confused. I'll film her some more tomorrow if she's out. But I'm just so happy that she's finally home. It was just very, very frustrating. I'm not thrilled about the experience. I wouldn't necessarily recommend this, and I'm not happy about it. Wasn't a satisfying experience at all. But Lively's completely fine, completely healthy, sweet. She was ready to come home. So that's basically the update. She's home, and I don't want to have to deal with that ever again. So thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Hit subscribe below to get notified when I upload some new ones. I promise we will have a happier video next upload. Okay, bye guys.